Good morning, good people of the internet. I slept in, baby. I worked hard yesterday on kids playing with
Dad,
her. Yeah,
look.
I know. I just saw. I put it on the video. Yeah, I did a short vlog yesterday. If you guys watched it, and I said I had to help clean up or do stuff around the house, which included cleaning up. We're hosting Christmas this year. One of the things was, that bird doesn't see me. Right, is it moving? Right by the yellow bucket. I don't know what kind of bird that is. Oh, saw me. A lot of different wildlife. I mean, I almost want to get a book on birds or something, just to like. Or my aunt showed me an app. I think I've yet to download it. I do. I'll get interested in something. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that like tomorrow, and then I won't. It's like something I'm like interested in, but like it's more of like a hobby thing. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Just a lot of different birds here that I've never seen before. Not that I'm like so far away from where we used to live. But there was like across my driveway. I don't know if you could tell, but over here, my yard's kind of a hill. It like sort of slopes down towards the tree line. But I built a retaining wall and leveled out the driveway, so it just goes right to the thing. Well, a deer came from like over here across the driveway, and there were like deer tracks there. It was cool. Looks like there was two. There was like a big one and some smaller ones. Like there was a little fawn or something. I don't know when they have babies or anything. I thought that was springtime, but anyways, yeah, we had to clean up, or I did. My wife has a giant list. She went to go make cookies all day. Which I think I was saying yesterday. I was like, it's crazy. It's like always, I feel like, I don't know, people make a ton of cookies for just as one instance for Christmas. And it's like, oh my God, they're like freaking out because they're rushing to get ingredients and bake them and all this other stuff. And then after Christmas, they're like, take cookies home. It's like, okay, like, if you made 10 dozen cookies and you have 9 dozen left over, next year just make like a dozen. So much less stress. That's just me, though. I mean, if that's what people like to do, whatever. But my wife would like some things done around the house, and one of them was like deep cleaning stuff. One of the biggest projects was deep cleaning her playroom over there that we just walked through. She pretty much has the one half of the basement. That side was already like finished when we bought the house. Sort of finished. I've been working on it. I had to do a bunch of other stuff, and I built that little, I think I showed on a video before. She has like monkey bars and a rock climbing wall. I built that for Christmas for her last year. Which is a really fun project. I wish I was doing videos then, because I could have made a video on that. We just bought the little rock climbing things, and the monkey bars. They weren't that much on Amazon. I think for both of them we spent like $40 or something. I don't know. I'd have to ask my wife. She does all that stuff now, and she just like showed me the dimensions and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I can make that work. And she's like, these were really cheap. So, and a lot of it was like leftover material from my shop and stuff. So it was like pretty much cost nothing. Anyways, I went through she has like this little shelf with like 3 rows of bins, and she has like toys in there. I went through every single one, and like, I didn't realize she had some. I mean, she'll like rip it apart, she'll play by herself, have a friend over, and then like when she was born, we used to like always have her help clean up and stuff like that, and she would always do really well. And I don't know what happened, but it just like fell off, and she would just like rip a room apart. I think it just became overwhelming, and it's just like, you know, we have some toys for her, like from donations or that Sprout sale. They do the Sprout sale thing. I don't know if that's like nationwide or whatever, but it's like basically people like twice a year or something get together at like a convention center and like with all their kids' toys and clothes and stuff and sell it, and it's like super cheap, but they have to be like clean and not broken and stuff like that. So we have this, she's been into this like marble run thing that I got her, I think over COVID. It's like these little pieces, be like one section, and like a marble goes from like start to finish, and it'll have like a little wheel that spins, or it'll like zigzag, right? And then when it gets to the end, there's a hole that the marble drops down to, and it fits over top of another piece that does something. And I remember those from when I was a kid, and I got her those, and it was like a hit. And the one I got her was like a mix of like two sets, and then my wife got her another set, and I don't know, Santa might bring her another set this year. But it's like stuff like that. She'll she's real into and uses, but then there was a lot of stuff she doesn't. So far she hasn't noticed. She's been playing in her room again, her playroom, and hasn't mentioned anything missing. She did mention the one, which was surprising to me. They were like little blocks that Kimmy and I had made. We used like a 2x4 or a 2x2 and cut them, so they were like cubes, like blocks for like a little kid. She was like 1, and Kimmy had painted like the alphabet on them, and like little, painted like a kangaroo on K. Just stuff like that. But I had put those in the donation pile, and she was like, "Hey, where's my block set?" Oh, whoops. So pulled them back out. Because, see, Kimmy and I had talked about that before. There were things, I think she said it happened to her too, but there were things from when I was a kid that, like, my mom got rid of that I still think about to this day. I'm like, man, I missed that. Why did she get rid of it? And I don't want to do that. We don't want to do that to her, So we tried different things, and she would kind of separate with some of it to like donate it, But I had to explain to her, she's kind of at an age now where she's like going over friends' houses after school and stuff. And like, I picked her up from her friend's house the other day, and she has a little playroom in the basement set up, and it was like perfect. It was like super simplistic and like just a handful of things, and they were like, when I got there, like yelling and having fun and playing with toys or whatever, and she was telling me all about it. I was like, yeah, it's probably like really nice to be able to do that, because there's a lot of room to move around, because there's not a lot of things. Like, you don't really need a lot of toys to play and have fun, huh? And it kind of made her think. And that was like a couple days ago, and yesterday I cleaned up her playroom, and she's been playing in it ever since. So it'll get overwhelming for her, and then she won't play in it. Which I kind of get, but oh man, so much ash in here today. It was cold yesterday. It never got above, I'm like really weird about, I have like we have the thermostat in the house that tells us the temperature upstairs. And then I have I have like a thermometer in the kitchen, like a digital one, because there's like a window and a big sliding glass door, so it's like a lot colder in there, and it's on the other side of the house from the thermostat. And then I have like one down here, and it has the tells you what the humidity is. But then the digital one that's upstairs also tells you the temperature outside, because there's like a sensor outside that I hung up on the deck in the back. And it never, I always watch them, especially like the humidity inside, because it gets real dry in here in the summer or the winter, and very moist in the basement in the summer. Which I feel like basements in our area, usually like this is an older house and people will finish it and then they have water and mold problems and they're like, I don't know why. But there's, I mean, you got to keep a dehumidifier usually. They don't keep the water away from their house. But I use that just to watch it. So in the winter, when it's a little dry down here, like I always, you guys have probably heard me, like I'll build a fire and then I'll get a pot. I'll be running water in the bathroom down here. That's why I'm filling up this pot. I keep it on there to keep the humidity up, because this really, having a wood stove really dries out the air. But I'll kind of intentionally let it be a little drier than usual, because I feel like it's just, if there is any moisture, excess moisture, like from in the concrete or behind the walls from the summertime, even though we run the dehumidifier, it'll suck that out, dry it up, kill the mold, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's completely true, but I've been doing it that way for, well, we've been heating our house with wood since 2011, and it's going on 2025 here, so 13, 14 years. And it seemed to have worked. Our last house was very, had a lot of water problems. The studio where I did all the other punkcovermoose stuff, where, like, you know, the videos with the blue wall, like that was my basement. When we first moved in there was constantly water. Especially when it rained. And the person who had lived there before was like, tried to also finish it, but didn't keep the water away from the house and all the other stuff. So I fixed all those things. And then a year later, we put in the wood burner, and we were still getting the hang of it. We didn't know keep the pot of water on there. But you know how like I live in the northeast side of the country, so if you've ever lived around that area, you know, sometimes like the basements can be kind of like, you know, wet and gross and smell like a basement. You get those like basement bugs, you know what I mean? Have a bunch of legs and like bugs you only see in the basement because it's like wet and dark. We had those bugs down there, and they don't like hurt you. It's just there's bugs in your house, you know. And of course spiders, because there's like bugs. But we had a bunch of those, and then once we got the wood burner, I fixed the water problems, and the wood burner, I think, dried it all out. They like left, and actually like they would make it upstairs, which sucked. There wasn't like, we weren't like overrun by these basement bugs upstairs. It's just like we started noticing them more and more often. So it's like, okay. At first we were just like, what the hell's going on? And then I think after like a year or so, I realized, I was like, oh, there's no more bugs down here. And I think the wood burner like dried the house out. So that's good. And this house didn't really have any water problems. this wall over here, my house is like built into a hill, and that wall on the outside is my driveway. I can probably just show you here in a second. I gotta take this outside anyways. But when we would get a heavy rain, see there's a drywall, there's part of a retaining wall. So see, like I'm in my basement, I'm at ground level. If I'm upstairs and go out the front door, I'm at ground level too. But the road, we moved in, the driveway goes up to the road, and obviously, and the curb had been worn down and was kind of eroded. And in the corner of our property where the driveway is, it was worn down so much that water would come down the road and just go right up over that part of the curb if it rained hard enough and come down our driveway. And our driveway, I guess, had settled, or they didn't do it right, and it would all come towards the house. And I built all this wall and stuff. Was right over here. This closet wasn't here. It was almost in the corner. Water would come in through where the block met the wall, or the floor, I think. And it would just come right down here and go into the drain that I have plugged up right now. I have it plugged up because, if the hot water tank breaks or something like that, I can come down here and pull that out. But like, water usually sits in that trap to keep the sewer gas from coming up, but with the wood burner right here, it just drives the water right up, and it just smells like a fucking toilet down here. So I just have it plugged up. But the city actually can't. I called and asked if they could fix that because I didn't know how to do that. I didn't realize you can get like asphalt repair, and just like I probably could have did it a little bit better, but they were very good about it actually. Usually people complain about the city and being slow and stuff, but it took them a few weeks to get here, but I'm sure they have many other important things to do. But yeah, they came out and fixed it and actually made it look pretty good. It's starting to flatten out again a little bit, and the water's actually digging out the road in front of it, so it's still good. The last few heavy rains we've gotten, I've checked, and it was okay, so. And then I pulled, our driveway is pavers, our pavers. And she's really liking her playroom right now. That's good. I'm just washing my hands. I'm not taking a dump or anything. But anyways, our driveway is made of pavers. So they were like probably 3 or 4 inches by 6 inches or so. So I pulled 6 rows. Oh, they go right up to the house. And I pulled probably about 5 or 6 rows back from the house. I pulled them up. And I like sloped it up. I don't remember what I did. I think I probably had dirt and stuff because I was digging and doing all these retaining walls and building a shop and stuff. I just used dirt to kind of ramp it up. I kind of exaggerated the ramp and then just like packed it in, and now it's kind of starting to settle, but it's sloped, and I've watched the water. It'll come down, and it's like you can see it coming like towards the house, but then it just kind of like, it's all crazy. So it kind of like zigzags, but it stays away from the house is the point. And then, which I think I had showed you guys before, this wall, this cement pad, my dad helped me do. This used to be a garage. You could see the seam here. It used to be a garage door before we bought the place. And they started to finish the basement, I guess. But this cement was sloped down towards the house, and there was like a drain there because it was like a garage, right? So you would like, I guess, pull down the driveway and back into the garage. Well, they had blocked this up, but the cement was still here. It was like busted up and all kind of poopy, but then it was also like sloped towards the house. but that drain was so plugged up. Actually, when I was building the retaining wall in front of the shop, I found the clay pipe. I think that was for it was just stuffed full of dirt. But anyways, water would come, any water that did come down that driveway, this retaining wall here, it used to stop about right there. So it would come down the driveway and then back around and then just fill this up with water. So my dad helped me do this. We busted it out. Well, I busted it out. I had to use a bobcat to like grade some of this a little bit better. It was all crazy. Just wanted it to be good for my shop and then build up some of the hillside and stuff. But since I had it, I had already busted this cement up, and I was just lifting it up. And actually, there was a big chunk I could not bust up, and now I know why. Because I had to use the bobcat to lift it out. It was like 8 inches thick, which, like, if you don't know anything about concrete, like this pad, I made it so you can park a car on it. It's 4 inches thick. So having a 8-inch thick piece of concrete, I mean, you could park like a dinosaur on it. It won't crack. Like, it's crazy. So anyways, I extended this wall out. So now any of the water that comes down, it goes out. And then I think I showed you guys or told you guys I have right this black thing, it's like a flower pot. Just down here on the other side of the wall, I have a drain in the yard. And a ton of water comes down, but that drain catches all that water before it hits any of the. I use the bobcat to grade the yard so the water goes in between, like underneath the shop, but in between the posts to keep all that from like frost heaving or whatever it's called. I gotta go inside. It's cold. But I put that drain in the yard right in front of it, and that catches a lot of the water. So if that fails, it'll still like go underneath the shop, but that drain catches most of the water, and I just divert it right out to the woods. So it is diverting it away, but there's a lot of water. Oh, but then I also have this cement pad. See right there, that little white circle. That's also a drain too, because now that new cement pad slopes towards the yard, and it's actually kind of V'd. When it rains really hard, the wind will blow water in here. They're not in the house, but like onto that cement pad. And that cement pad kind of V's towards the center, but then also slopes towards the yard, right where that drain is. So that drain's actually connected to that yard drain, and those go out to the woods. Just to keep I'm really crazy about keeping water away from the house. So that has worked very well. And the goal with this eventually, so I made this so you can park, this cement pad so you can park on it. Eventually I want to put another one. I could fit about half a car on this, just to give you an idea for the size. But out here in front of it, eventually I want to pour another pad 4 inches thick and make a carport. So half of the carport will be under the deck here. And I think that'll be sweet. That'll be hopefully maybe someday I'll get a DeLorean, and that's where I'll park it, or just have like a cool car. But that was kind of if I never do, I don't. But I kind of planned for that. I still got to fix, like, see all this cement here where her toys and my ash bucket is. It's all busted. I want to fix that. I'm just going to do that 2 inches thick. I'll never park a car on there. But originally I was thinking of building a shop here underneath the deck, because it's pretty long. It's just not very wide. But I was like, man, it'd be much easier to run electricity and stuff out here. But that part of the yard, like my yard slopes towards the tree line, and then like right where the front of the shop is, it really like starts to slope down. So we're on top of a mountain. It's kind of an unusable part of the yard anyway. It's like it really starts to slope. You could play on it. It's not like horrible. We could build like have a swing set or something there. But like right where the tree line hits, then it really drops off too. So it's like I have stuff like, storage underneath my shop, and then I have a shed over there, and like my neighbor has a little fence. There's a little opening here, but we have the pines. But like Lily, like part of her thing, like when she's done playing outside, one of her jobs is to like put all of her balls like on her trampoline or something, or inside her little kiddie pool, because if the wind blows, they just blow down to the woods. And I know that because, well, I found some of her balls down there before because she forgot or they blew off the trampoline or something. The trampoline has the net around it. When I was a kid, they didn't have nets. But most of those balls that she has, I found them in the woods from other people's kids' balls blowing down there. You know, so because there's like trails and stuff back there. So that's I ride my dirt bike. I'll see them and I'll grab them if I'm on my way back. Man, I started out. I got way off subject. I realized 25 minutes ago, is how long I've been talking when I started this. I was telling you about cleaning my daughter's playroom and all that because I was like, it's Sunday and I want to take a break. So I don't want to burn myself out, you know? Really trying to focus on not burning myself out. Like working really hard, but also giving myself at least a day to just do nothing, a hobby or something, you know what I mean? Work on organizing the shop. I still have a ton to do in there. I don't know if I've ever showed you guys that. It's just not right now. It's just a place where I have all my tools and stuff. I built like a workbench. I got pegboard up. I've been making shelves and labeling everything. It's just, I've had so many things like containers of nuts and bolts and stuff. It's just like going through them and like putting them where they belong and making a place where they belong and figuring out where is that place. Because like it's a blank slate. I can do whatever I want. You know what I mean? Which is really cool to be able to have that like opportunity, you know? But anyways, I was talking about cleaning her room and stuff because we got things to do for Christmas, but like I still have stuff to do today and I just don't want to. Which kind of works out doing these vlogs too, because like when I'm doing it, like my daughter might occasionally come in and say like hello and give me a hug and like run away, but like my wife won't bother me. I should just pretend I'm vlogging all day. She's just because she's letting me do what, you know, I do. So, but the thing is, I could put some of the stuff off. But like my dad, he has a giant roll of carpet. And it's more than enough to put carpet down in we call it my side of the basement. I call it the live room. I don't know. I think in the videos I call this the studio because it makes sense. It's where I like record. But like when I was recording bands, this is the control room. And I set this room up the same, but even at the other studio, at the other house, this room next to it is what I call the live room because that's where you record live instruments, you know, like drums and stuff. But I started to finish it. I think I've showed you guys this before. We painted the ceiling black. Oh, it looks kind of shitty over here because I didn't finish that. But see, I put these lights in. It looks like real good. I still got to finish this corner because see, that's still the block. This pillar here, I was going to leave exposed. We were doing this like style because since it's a basement, like we painted the ceiling black, but since I've rewired everything, like I was able to centralize where all the wires go, and then they all go. I built these bulkheads. They all go to this closet that has my electrical panel, and I call that the tech closet because I have my network set up in there. I just have like some switches and my modem and router and stuff. But I've been hardwiring internet everywhere because I was working I had a job. Well, the last two jobs I had, or not last two, but the last one and the two before. I was installing security cameras. We always had tons of Ethernet cable left over, Cat 5 cable and Cat 6 cable. So like I would end up with these like giant rolls left over. So I'm like, when we got the house, I'm like, I'm hardwiring internet, man. It's great. Our Wi-Fi is so much faster. But anyways, all the electrical wire and all the internet wire and stuff, I'm still working on it, but it all goes to like this bulkhead. There's a bulkhead behind my green screen that continues on over there. This bulkhead here has wire. I didn't want to put drop ceiling. There was drop ceiling on Lily's side, but it has this like look to it. This side we didn't completely paint, but see, it's like there's this bulkhead, and it's like kind of unfinished. It has this like rustic look, but when it's painted black, it's like, you know, because see how the wood here, it's like has all the, it's like nice. It has like, but you know, it has stains and whatever, all that kind of stuff. So when you paint something, it makes it consistent, right? So it just makes it look nicer. So it still gives it a finished look, but I still have access to like my vent pipes. You know, I did like this, like I added this vent in here, and it's, you know, not like something you'd see in like a crazy nice house or anything, but to me this still looks nice. And for me, since I fix everything, I have to fix everything, I still have access to it. So like you can, even in this video, you can kind of tell like the pipe just sort of disappears, you know what I mean? So we were kind of going for that look, but what was I saying? Oh, we never finished the floor. I still gotta, like I said, do that corner, and I haven't done any of the baseboards or trim around the doors yet. But other than, I gotta do the corner, the baseboards, and then the floor. We never figure out what we're gonna do with the floor. Her side of the basement has carpet. It was already there, and it's in okay shape, but we figured there's no sense of like replacing the carpet or doing something with the floor when she's still a kid, because it's probably going to get messed up anyways, you know what I mean? But anyways, oh jeez. I usually have this locked so it doesn't lean back so far. It must have popped out. My dad has a giant roll of carpet, and I'm just gonna, it's brownish, so it will kind of match the playroom, but it'll just make it look a little nicer, because that cement in there it just has paint and stain on it and stuff. So because it was a garage, so we wanted to like pull the carpet up. I've looked underneath the carpet over there, and it was all poured at once, which would make sense. But there's only one little spot where they had a closet here, that I took down, but the floor was painted. So I think if we like got that paint off and then got some sort of floor sander or something, I'm not really sure how to do it. I haven't looked into it much. But you probably have to like, you know, sand the surface a little bit, even where it's not painted. And Kimmy wanted to try staining it. But then we were kind of leaning towards just like garage floor painting it, because it's supposed to be super durable. And we want to keep it, we kind of wanted to keep it cement, because if there's, like I was talking earlier, like there was water issues, should be good. I usually keep my eye on it, but like if that ever happens again for some reason, or a hot water tank breaks, a water leak or something, it can just onto the cement, and it's already sloped towards drains, you know what I mean? So like it would be good. We wouldn't like ruin the basement. The only thing that drives me crazy is if there was ever, so this is the studio, that's the back door. The previous people, I think, well, there were a few owners before us, so someone at some point put this floor down, which it's like a nice, like ceramic wood looking tile, but they use leveling cement to level it, which is what you need to do. But this is by the back door, and you could tell, like here's the carpet I was telling you about. This goes to her playroom. There's this gap here. There's, you know, they raised it up. So if the basement ever flooded, it would have to raise up like an inch and a half before it can flow out the back door. I don't know. I wouldn't have done it that way. But it's already all here and it looks nice. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to change it. I wouldn't have even put the studio here. I would have done this so much different. It drives me crazy, but so much of it was done when we were here. It's like, well, I'm not going to tear it all down and redo it. You know what I mean? Like this is the back. I would have, there's like a bathroom here, and then next to that is like the laundry room. And next to the laundry room, they had this like nook that like went into the corner. Like when we were looking at the house, they just had like all their dirty laundry piled up over there. So it's like you like walk in and the washer and dryer is right in front of you, but then like over to the left, there was just this like corner. So you had to like shimmy around the washing machine, and then there was just like a corner for like storage stuff. So I ended up just building a wall there, and on the outside of it, I put a door. So it's just a closet. Like that made more sense to me. But this whole outside wall, since we're at ground level, like I would have put, because the water comes in, the kitchen's above this bathroom and the laundry room, but the water comes in the front of the house. I would have put all that stuff down there anyways. You know what I mean? Like I would have had to cut into the floor for a drain, but it's only halfway in. They had to have done that over here anyways to connect into the sewer line. And the sewer line actually goes right through the center, so I probably wouldn't have had to cut that much. Anyways, I would have put all those utilities and stuff along the front. Because first of all, like, there's so many reasons. Like, when you go to do laundry, you, like, come down the steps and you have to go back towards the house. Well, if it was up front, you just come down the steps and it's right there. Or someone's using the bathroom, you have to use a secondary bathroom instead of coming down the steps and all the way back. First world problems, I know. But we kept it all up front, and all the utilities were right up front. And that's where the electric comes in, the water comes in, sewage comes in. It would have just made more sense. And then along this back wall, you could have had some windows for more natural light. That would have been so much better. And we have such a great view. We have all these pine trees and stuff in the woods and stuff. So you could just like sit down here by the fire, watch a movie. You look out the window, and there's like some pine trees, maybe a deer walking by. I don't know. That's what I would have done. But anyways, that's just me. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff like that I gotta do today. So my dad's bringing that carpet, and I don't want just like a roll of carpet sitting around. I don't really have. I have places to put it. Like I could put it in the basement, but it'd be in the way on my side, or in the shop, but then it's in the way. I'd like to keep things clean. I don't like just storing things. So I'm like, there's really not much to move. Let me show you. So I'm probably just going to be laying carpet today, or at least in the next few days. So it's like, it seems like messy, like I have a lot of stuff, but this is where I'm making all my videos. I got to move this, like, it's everything off the floor, but it's really only like this piano and like these certain stands and stuff like that. I just got to move my green screen and like my drum set. Well, now that her playroom's like, you could see the floor. If I just move that over there, it would probably only take me 10 minutes to move all that stuff over there and then just lay down the carpet. And I think I already have carpet tape. I don't know if it's going to be hard to get off the cement floor. Because it's not going to stay there forever. But it's just going to make it look so much nicer, And it's free. So I'm just like, well, maybe someday we'll, maybe in like 5 or 10 years, I'll be vlogging like, hey, remember that time when I was temporarily putting carpet down because it was free? Well, now I have like some YouTube money and I'm going to like make the floor look nice. That would be cool. That's the goal. Honestly, I think I'm just going to wait till my dad calls me. He's bringing it because it's so big. It has to be like on his truck. I might just go. I didn't eat breakfast. I think I'm gonna go make some sausage. And I started playing in our game room. I have a computer with emulators on it, and I like playing on emulators so much better than. I like the original systems because the feel is right. With the emulators, you got to like tweak them so that you get the feeling right, of like using the controller and stuff. But I like using the emulators because, when I'm playing like the old school Nintendo games and stuff, like they didn't have save back then, and they didn't quite figure out like I started playing Donkey Kong Country again. I'd never played the first one. I had the second one, so I replayed that last week and beat it, which is a notoriously hard game, and I've beat it many times. But I just wanted to like play it and not, and I like to do things 100%. And in that game, you can get up to 102%. So, you know, you had to get to like certain points. Like I was telling Kimmy when I was a kid, like, you know, sometimes you'd have to beat 5 levels till you can get to a save point. And once you get pretty far into the game, the levels are hard. You know what I mean? So like when you were a kid, you either had to like leave your Nintendo on and hope that your mom didn't see it and turn it off, or beat it until you get to the save point. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's just like, if it was on the weekend, I'm like falling asleep. I'm like, I had to get to the save point, but I'm so tired. Or I had to like, you know, go to school the next morning. It's like, this thing's going to be on for the next like 12 hours. How would my mom not see it, you know? So, I don't know. It's just nice with an emulator because I have like on my controller, just I mapped one of the buttons to be to mark a save point. So I can just do it that way. And it's so much better. You know what I mean? And I can actually just like play the game. Or sometimes like you do something stupid or like, you know, where you shouldn't have died and you're at the end of the level and you have to replay the whole thing. And it's like, nah, just rewind a little bit. I don't want to go through all that again. Kimmy was laughing at me at first. She's like, why aren't you playing the game? I'm like, you know how many times I've beat this game without doing this? Like, at this point, it's just looking through the yearbook at this point for me. Like, I have no interest in, like, you know, getting intense about it. But anyways, yeah, I was thinking about just going up and playing a game because I never had the first Donkey Kong Country, so I've been playing that, which is way easier than the second one. It was kind of like, and it's crazy because they kept talking about like, oh, how good the graphics are, because it was very like groundbreaking for that time. Like, I don't know, when was it, 95 or something maybe? No, it had to have been earlier than that because I think Mario 64 came out in like 95, so it's probably like 92. So I think it was just the game. It was like, it's like a decent game so far, but they talk about the graphics and stuff a lot, make little like rareware type jokes about the graphics and running out of memory and stuff like that. I think the game was made, since it was a decent game, it like worked, but it was just to kind of like showcase what the Super Nintendo could do, which was very interesting. But I think I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go eat breakfast, maybe play a game for a little bit, wait for my dad, and I gotta make some. I've been trying to like make content to like post every day, mostly like short stuff, just so I have stuff to post like 3, 4, 5 times a day, because it just constantly, it was something I've been trying and I wanted to do it for several months. I'm on like almost done with like month 3 of doing that. And what I've started to notice is by posting every day, it's getting like, I think what's happening is like I might only, it's ups and downs too. Like some videos will get a ton of views, some will get like none, but consistently I'm getting like a few hundred every time. And this is why I always say for you guys to like and comment and share, do whatever you can if you see it, you know, and if you like it, of course, because I think it helps the algorithm find more people like you, and it it keeps it in the feed, because like when it decides to show something to someone, like, oh, this person might like this video, sometimes it's video from like months ago something that I posted, you know what I mean, and then they like it. Like someone commented on something I posted like last week, and like they had saw it and they were like, oh, this is pretty cool, I'll check out the EP. I'm like, perfect. Like I was cleaning my daughter's playroom, so it was like doing it for me, you know what I mean? So I need to just keep doing that, and like I think it's working. And the thing too, I don't know yet, but so when you use a distributor for your music, it it puts your music out on like Spotify and stuff like that. But then like if you make, you know, little videos on like Instagram and stuff, and you can search sounds, you can use musicians' music for that. You also get paid for that if you're an artist, right? So a lot of my videos, I've been making like little joke videos or just promo videos and stuff, but then I'm putting my own music behind it. It makes sense, right? But those royalties are delayed 3 months. So what I started doing in September, I'm not going to see until January. So I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm hoping that it's not only is it promoting my stuff to get it out there for people to listen to on Spotify and stuff, or buy it off iTunes where I make more money, but that little bit I get from those reels and stuff, because at this point I've made hundreds, right? So it's probably not going to be like that much, but if I can keep it snowballing, I've realized too that other people are starting to use my music for sounds in their own videos. It's just another little stream of income that I want to try and build up. So a lot of these things are experiments and just things that I've heard from other people or whatever. And it's just like trying to build up these little streams of income so I can keep it going. Cause I'm, like I said yesterday, I'm getting at the point where in a few months, I'm gonna have to start worrying about income again. And so far I've surpassed breaking even with Punk Cover Moose this month. So it's pretty good. It's not much, but, I'm going to have to start worrying about getting side jobs again here soon if I can't build this up enough, which is fine. I was telling Kimmy, I was like, yeah, I keep thinking of like maybe door dashing once a week just to like start saving up, because if I have like 3 months and I did it once a week for 3 months, that would, by the end of those 3 months, I would have built up, it was like $100 a day, like another month and a half or something. I'm also like, DoorDash is easy because you just download the app and you just go and do it. You know, it's just work. And it's pretty easy. I got pretty good at it to make like $100 a day within, 5-6 hours or so, which is decent. But I'm like, man, I was telling her, I was like, it sucks I don't have a truck or anything anymore because I could cut grass in the summer. I got really good at that, and there's a ton of money in it, and I don't have a way to haul it, tow my equipment. I have a trailer, but my car can only tow like 900 pounds. My mower itself weighs like 600. I mean, I could use like a push mower, I know, but like having a commercial mower, it's like, even when you have a small yard that you charge like $20 for or $30, you do it in 5 minutes. You do, it's just doing the math. 1 yard takes you, let's just say 10 minutes, $20, right? And there's what? So that would be 20 times 6 is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, $120 in an hour. So that's $120 an hour by having a commercial mower. But I started going after more rural places, which I'm already close to. It's perfect because there's people that don't have the time to do it and they have a big yard, a few acres or so. Or it's people that just physically can't do it anymore and they can afford it because they're retired. So, they were paying me basically what I was charging back then. Would probably still be a decent price. Hey, what's wrong? Lily, what's wrong? I'm making a video, you're screaming. What? Look, it's going up because it's leaning, honey. Look, this is making it higher. If you need help, just ask for help. You okay? If you need help again, just ask, okay? What was I saying? Oh, so like $60 for like an acre, and I could do it with the equipment I had that I still have. I could do that in about 45 minutes. That's trimming and everything. You know what I mean? So the thing is, okay, I just realized my math's off. The thing is like those smaller properties that you would charge $20 for, you can't really get those done in 10 minutes because they always have more trimming. It was always more like 30 minutes, maybe 45. Places with bigger lots, they have some trimming around the house, but it's on a big, 1 acre property or 2 acre property, whatever. So there's way less trimming. And the mower goes like 6 miles an hour and has a 54-inch wide deck. Anyway, I was telling my wife, I was like, I wish I could do that, but, I have a lot of other skills. Like I can do simple electric. People need outlets added in, like outside, inside, lights added in, switch. You know what I mean? Like, I could probably do that stuff, and I don't think there's a lot of people really doing those things. From what I know, especially working at the hardware store, people come in all the time like, do you know someone that can replace the flapper on my toilet? And it's like, no, I don't actually, you know? And most actual legit plumbers, like, they're not gonna, they would have to charge too much to come out and do that. You know what I mean? To replace a flapper. Cause it's like, it would take an hour out of your time. It's like, what do you charge for that? 20 bucks? You know what I mean? 50 bucks, maybe? I feel like that's way too much, but like, it has to be worth your time to go out there. You can't replace everybody's flappers and, you know, all day. You're the only one in town with that skill, and you make $100, like $80 for the day, and you're driving around burning up all that gas. Like, that's crazy, you know? But for me, I think it would be perfect for me, because even when I was cutting grass, I had a lot of older people, you know, like widowed wives and stuff, and they were just like, they would, you know, I'm already there, and they were like, um, this one lady, she always paid me extra to do stuff for her. You know what I mean? And I would, like, a lot of time, like, don't worry about it. I'll just help her. I'll just help you out. She was already paying me kind of a lot. Her yard was crazy, but you know, she was already paying me pretty good to cut her grass. I was charging her the least that I could, but like, she would always need like flower pots. She would want like flower pots hung up, or like door handle fixed or something. She's like, can you fix this? Do you know how to do this? I'm like, yeah. One time she had me like fix her shed. Like, the entire shed just needed like reinforced, you know what I mean? And like fixed. And I did that. And she paid me like an extra $200. And I'm like, obviously she was kind of loaded, but like, I don't know. I think I could do more stuff like that. It'd be a little easier, and I wouldn't have to like drive around, burn up gas, and deliver food. You know what I mean? Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I'm like, I have a skill set that other people don't have. You know what I mean? I've done flooring, drywall, mud, electrical. I like electrical. Electrical's fun, actually. I used to be terrified of it, but it's so easy, and you're not gonna die from it. I learned so much electrical stuff. I don't know. Anyways, I'm hungry. I'll see you guys tomorrow.